Well, hello there, world. My name is Tony, and this is TonyLiveTV. And in this video, I'll be replacing the receiver dryer. And I wanted to just stop right here because I don't want to forget this. I rarely see anybody touch on this topic. When you purchase a new one of these, they're filled with nitrogen. It's pressurized. So when you go to install this and you crack this open and you don't hear it, that's not any good. That means it's already been exposed to the air, and who knows how long it's been exposed to the air. So that's the first tip before we get started in this video. Now, all of you guys that are converting from the R12 to the 134, all your O-rings need to be replaced, even on the compressor. R12 O-rings are not compatible with 134A. 134A is compatible with R12. That's tip number 2. The receiver dryer is the last item of the complete AC system. When you're working on it, it's the last item to be replaced. And the reason is because, yes, it is pressurized. It's been pressurized with nitrogen, so it displaces any air, right? They made sure it's completely dry because there's a desiccant material in the inside. You get the switches installed quickly and seal that right back up. Then go over to the vehicle and tighten everything up. And then you can do a final draw, tip number 3. Science played a factor in the end of this video, and I was hoping it was going to do that. It's not really a theory, it's science, but I didn't know whether or not I could prove the science. So that meant that I wanted to split this video up. Immediately after I upload this video, I would say within an hour or so of that one, the next video. So it's not like you're gonna wait for it. I just wanted to split the videos up. You know, you guys that have donated, hey, it really does help. You'll see why in the next video. All right, thanks again. Before I start any job, I always seek out the manual, see if there's any information in there, like torque settings, for example. And the removal and installation is actually quite simple. We're just gonna go ahead and drain the system, which we already have. Take off a couple of lines, and that's about it. And we'll put on the new one, but we're not gonna put that new one on until everything is all done and ready to go. You don't want to introduce this to the outside air. So in other words, this should be your last point of doing your AC system. You don't want this thing absorbing any of the moisture that you left in the system or that's in the air. And thank goodness I live here in Arizona. I'm on the passenger side, at least in the US models, 560, it's on the passenger side. And the first thing we want to do is disconnect these electrical connections. This one's done with a tie here. So now I've exposed these wires, and now it doesn't matter which one goes to where, but you can notice that this brown and white one went to the blue, and the brown and black went to the brown. It's not going to matter, and you'll see in a minute. Also notice the gauge wire this is on this side, and then look at this. This is a genuine Mercedes. We'll disconnect these. There we go. I'll start with something like this to kind of help me a little bit. There we go. And I'll do the same thing on this other side. There we go. Now all that's disconnected. We'll take this one off down here. We have to hold the condenser side. And then we'll have one over on this side as well. First thing I'm doing is making sure that this stuff is not corroded. Well, it's been sitting for 20 minutes or so. This bottom one is a 17 millimeter, 19 millimeter on the top. See if I can do it. All right, you guys. So this is the next one we got to get out. Make sure that all my wires are out of the way. So this here, of course, went in here and gets tied. And then you've got your plug that sits here. So they just go over the top of this, not behind here, but over the top. And that's the nut that I'm going to work on right now. It's 19 millimeter. My neighbor is still shredding. Can you believe that? You know, that they just got home from work. All right, now I gotta hold the pipe on the top so she doesn't go anywhere. Oh, yes! That one there was easier than the other one. All right. Can you believe it? An hour they're shredding documents. I mean, what can you really shred? All right, so these are those two 10 millimeter nuts that fit on here. You can see that it'll slide up and down. It'll make it easier to get this disconnected. So I'm gonna take that off first. Oh, I should also note, do you see how some of the fins are smashed? I just want to make note of that. That's not what I did. And I'll try to straighten those fins out after this is all removed. I'm glad I put some stuff on there. Some WD-40, because it came right out. Oh, nope. They got another load of documents. So now we can just pull this right out of there, like that. Tip it. You'll notice I had this rag here the whole time, and that's in case there's anything in here that might drip onto my paint, or even my wrench when I come down. But then you just come right out through here. Just like that. And that's what it looks like. Let's bring it over to the bench. So this is the one I took out. This is the one I'm going to install. This is the Euro. This one here is an old one. I mean, actually, it's a new one. I bought it years ago. You notice this is bent. That's the way it was shipped to me, and I never did do the AC. They all appear to be the same. This one here, I don't even know who that is. This is the one I'm going to install. This has been spot welded for this bracket. This Euro is actually welded. And the welds don't look too bad, really. You can see it's not that bad. I'm surprised at that. This here is machine welded, I would imagine. It's a nice weld. So is this side. This is heavier duty here than here. Again, it doesn't matter, just something I'm pointing out. And you see how heavy duty this is? This is probably 12 gauge wire. You know, maybe 14 gauge, but it's pretty thick. And the new one is the thinner wire. See how thin that wire is in comparison? But it's not carrying any amps. You don't need these giant wires this is total overkill. This is the perfect time to address this bare copper pipe. You know, they have this hard, rubber that fits around this grommet, but then there used to be this stuff like this that would wrap over that pipe to keep it from sweating and also, to insulate the pipe. So I'll have a link to this in the description of what I'm using. It's a heat resistant to something like 300 degrees or something like that. It is made exactly for this. So let's go ahead and take this apart and redo this, because this is in the wrong position too. This is the material that came out of it. This is what was actually sitting here. And it's a foam. I still have the tags on it, but I can't make out the part number. And it doesn't matter anyways. I understand you can't buy it. Thickness is about the same. And I've already loosened this. I want to make sure there's nothing here. So this is the old pipe that went to the compressor, since I was replacing all that. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to stick that in the end. Don't want anything to contaminate it. And then now I'm just going to see if I can fit over this. This is going to be the toughest part, but that's the size that I purchased. It was 32 millimeter. So it should fit over that. You only get one chance, really. So You know, this isn't that cheap foam either. That's the reason why it's difficult to cut. So I like that. I'm right on the edge over there. But I'm going to use a wire tie right here. There, that looks great. You could probably just go ahead and put this on here because it will do the same thing and actually look really nice. These two substances are not the same, right? You can kind of tell, right? So I measured this one. It's about 4 millimeters in thickness. And it's 50 millimeters wide or 2 inches wide. And it's a rubber, right, on purpose. So I will be replacing that with a new piece of rubber. And this is what it looks like when it's all done. This has got to be 4 millimeters thick. And if you were to take an 1/8 inch, you see it's just slightly smaller. But it's enough. If you look close to this right here, from the side view, you can see these things are basically touching. That's a little bit tight. This was, like I say, 1/8 of an inch. Then this one is 3/16. And you can see that's too thick. And when I use the 3/16, I can't even close the clamp. With 1/8 of an inch, it's closed too much. It's not holding as good as I'd like it. 3/16 is too big, and I can't close the clamp. So you really do need 4 millimeter, and I can't buy any 4 millimeter here in the US, so I had to order a piece of EPDM rubber from China. I also want to point out that on the bottom side here, this bracket, you see how long that bracket is, that metal piece? It goes all the way to there. And that's the reason why I chose to install it this way. Right now, I just wanted to get all this installed, and I feel good about it. So this part of it is ready. Now I want to hook up all my lines. First thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of lubricant to the threads. This here came with an O-ring, surprisingly, but I'm going to remove it to lubricate it. I've already wiped it. Now just put that on there. I might get in your way, but it's more important that I put this in straight so that O-ring lines up. That's a 27 millimeter. I'm not going to do it too tight. For now, that's good. I've already cleaned all the threads here and the back of this, you know, because the old O-ring left debris. Again, I'm going to lubricate it with Nylock. I've already made sure this is clean. I took a picture in there so you can see what it looks like. 27 on this side and 32 on that side. So again, you're not going to do it too tight. Just snug it up. Later, I'll change this to the 134. This one's got the 134, but I'm going to put a new one on that one as well. That's it. I'm just going to wipe the outside of this. Make sure that your Schrader valve is out. This one is. Go ahead and lubricate the threads. And then the tip of this where it's going to meet that O-ring. Again, all these are O-rings, so you don't want to over-tighten it. Everything in the manual is all wrong. Don't follow the manual as far as torques go. Just snug it up. It's good enough. You'll see. This one here, we need to take the Schrader out. I've already cleaned the outside of this before I took the Schrader out. There it is. Well, I'm going to put this back in because this Schrader valve, the threads in here are all chewed up and looks like debris and everything could be in there. There's no way I'm going to use this junk. But let's go over to the bench and start working on that dryer. As far as I know, this is everything that you're gonna need. I bought this big kit right here. I didn't use anything out of that kit. I did use a couple out of this kit. You're gonna need your R134A adapters, and you're gonna need something to take out the old Schraders, as well as make sure these Schraders are good. The interesting thing is when I went to purchase all this, Mercedes says discontinued. Today, I can purchase every one of these, but this I think was like $150. And all it is a can with desiccant. So I just cannot see that the Mercedes desiccant material is, that much better. But anyways, that's everything that I'm using. I kept all of the old O-rings, and these were the O-rings that went on each side of this. I only showed you guys me putting it in the one side, but I changed the O-rings on both sides. So I took care of those. From the compressor to the evap, that was the one that I used for that one. And again, it was already on that line, so I didn't have to change that for those. That's for the dryer. I need to set this up by putting these on. These have O-rings already on them, but again, from what I understand, this one kit, this MT2633, will have everything that you need. But it's going to have things you don't need too. Trust me, look at all these. And I've pretty much done everything. So this is our high pressure switch and our low pressure switch. This is where our high pressure switch will go, and that's where our low pressure switch will go. I'm just going to do this off camera. You guys know how to do it. All right, that's under nitrogen. So this is pressurized. It's ready to go. All right, let's go take it to the vehicle. So I placed that wrench there and I lubricated it. And now I'm getting ready to take this off of this. It has an O-ring. I have a brand new O-ring, and I'll lubricate it just like the other one. So this one here is a 17 millimeter, and that one there is a 19, but I'm not going to tighten it yet. I want to get up in here first. I've already pre-lubricated those threads because I didn't want to try to do it down in here. I have everything loose just so I can line it all up nice and easy, right? Well, you didn't see me tighten everything up, but I did, right? You know I did. And then we just need to hook up these electrical connections. I'm just going to be in your way. I could use a new boot. See that boot? Like I said, it doesn't matter, right? These are both black. So take your choice. Will I be able to do it? Not with those little plastic things on there. It's not too easily. I think what I would rather do is just heat shrink this thing and then put it into this container here instead. So that's it. That's how I did it. It's wrapped up, all connections, everything's tight. I think it's time to pull a vacuum and see what happens. I installed the new fittings for the R134A. I ran a vacuum on the hoses and they all hold a vacuum. And that's where this video comes to an end. Because this part of the video is very important. The installation, the O-rings and the type and all that is super, super important. But the next part is going to be pulling a vacuum. And you do this immediately after getting this installed because you want to make sure everything is good and tight. Because again, you have this darn thing open to the air, right? If you don't. So you want to make sure everything is nice and tight. And that's what that's all about. And that video right now is ready, right? I'm sure it's ready. It's going to be right here. I guarantee it'll be right here.